I said, nah, I ain't gonna speak about it, bruh. You understand? I'm gonna wait till he speak about it. So people who had known that, I always knew that because I used to follow Puff to Kirk House when we had the building and the red zone, and we used to take the money from those clubs and we had to drop it off at Kirk House. So we wasn't dropping. He would, he was staying there. You spending the night at another house and you got a apartment with your girl somewhere else? Okay. So when I seen in the lawsuit that he said that Kirk said that Puff was SAing him, sexually assaulting him, sodomizing him, doing all kind of things to him, I first thought like, but hold up, they was lovers or they was, but that's his boss. So maybe.
In a heart-stopping confrontation more intense than any concert spotlight, Usher is suddenly plunged into a high-stakes battlefield where power plays, loyalty tests, and unresolved past conflicts collide explosively. Into this charged storm steps 50 Cent, the daring instigator, who drops jaw-dropping claims and bold revelations about Usher and Diddy, sparking immediate outrage. Tensions spiral fast, forcing Usher to face old rivalries, buried resentments, and the crushing pressures of worldwide fame, as events race toward a volatile breaking point that threatens to spin entirely out of control.
Diddy, wearing tan prison clothing, hugged all of his attorneys and ultimately entered a plea of not guilty. Trial attorney Misty Maris breaks down the impact of today's proceedings with Diddy's trial in May fast approaching.
The new indictment against Diddy is very impactful to the case. Not only does it add new charges, it also expands the timeline where the alleged criminal activity took place, and it also adds 2 new victims. From a defense perspective, this changes the game as far as strategy of how to approach all of the charges and all of the allegations at trial.
Combs previously pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
Ahead of today's hearing, Diddy's lawyers made stunning allegations about the damning CNN surveillance video that appears to show Combs physically assaulting his former girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, at a LA hotel in 2016. In a letter to the judge, Combs...
After the rapper was denied bail for the second time, his attorneys filed a motion November 8th requesting bail once again, arguing that changed circumstances and new evidence should allow him to be released from jail ahead of his May 5th trial, according to documents obtained by E! News. The motion for bail claims that new evidence makes it, quote, clear that the government's case is thin. The defense also alleges that new evidence refutes the prosecution's claim that the March 2016 video of Combs physically assaulting a woman in a hotel occurred during a coerced freak-off or elaborate sex performance, as cited in the initial indictment. Instead, the motion claims that the video is a minutes-long glimpse into a complex but decade-long consensual relationship between Mr. Combs and Victim 1. Per the documents, his attorneys also argue that the new evidence refutes the prosecution's notion there was a, quote, potential second alleged victim. Combs, who was arrested in September on charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, and using transportation to engage in prostitution, has remained in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, since his arrest. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges. E! News has reached out to the office of the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York for comment and has not yet heard back. Combs' attorneys have declined to comment. During the September 17th hearing after Combs' arrest, U.S. Assistant Attorney Emily Johnson cited a 2016 video that was released this May.
In a charged New York courtroom heavy with tension, the air shifted dramatically when Usher's longtime industry adversary, Shah Diddy Combs, entered in a stark correctional uniform, his once flawless persona replaced by weariness and a steely glare. He stood firm, pleading not guilty to a series of serious, updated charges, while prosecutors depicted him as a powerful influencer accused of manipulating loyalty and bending ethics across the very industry Usher helped shape. The defense countered with equal ferocity, insisting the allegations were inflated and fueled by hidden motives. Beneath every motion and statement simmered a deep-rooted rivalry, a strategic battle to challenge a legacy that has long paralleled Usher's meteoric rise on the world stage.
I agree with you in some ways. What I would just add is it's without question because they did not know that he was recording them. I mean, when I read through that lawsuit, Rodney made it very clear that he had hidden cameras. And if you are a person like LeBron who says ain't no party like a Diddy party, you got Ashton Kutcher talking about what happens at Diddy parties stays at Diddy parties. And finally you learn via the press that actually Diddy has been collecting evidence on all of you and you don't know where those tapes are. That will buy your silence for quite some time because you're hoping that if you keep your head low, you're not going to be revealed as one of these people that was engaged in some of these acts, whether they were heterosexual or homosexual, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're just cheating on your wife and you don't want that to get out into the public. Maybe you were, as Cat Williams described it, in one of the rooms. He said you could just walk around the house. He said this on stage years ago, that you could walk around the house and you would see people engaged in various sex acts. And again, Cat Williams was someone who was dismissed as crazy and dismissed as a drug addict. And it turned out that, or it seems that if these allegations are proven to be true, and I believe they are, then he was telling the truth. And I think that is the reason that so many of them are silent, because they were doing things. They thought that they were his friend, that they were bad boys for life, and that he would keep things silent when in reality, he was just another Jeffrey Epstein typed character. And they're scared for their lives. Yeah, especially if you're someone like a LeBron James. And I'm not alleging that he is caught in something terrible, but if he was caught in anything and you're LeBron James and you've made your mark on talking about the ills of society and you have minted yourself a king and you're speaking out on the Black community and they find out you're the room over while someone's getting raped potentially, not going to look good.
Chris did get the book from Courtney. Courtney has a more thorough copy of the book. When Chris published the book that was on Amazon, it was edited. So some of the passages were removed. Some of the pictures were removed, and I think there was like a foreword or something that was added to the book. So it is a different version, but from the same, what in copyright law is called derivative work. So it derives from that work that Courtney has.
And just to be clear, Courtney's work, Courtney's book, is it currently being sold anywhere?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe Courtney has I was about to say, here's a woo-woo, welcome to downtown Miami. But I believe he is selling it on a website. I only came into that knowledge when I received the cease and desist letter from Quincy and Christian.
Got it. And in terms of the content of the book, what is this book about, the one from your client?
So I haven't taken the time to read the book either, but to my understanding, it's Kim Porter's memoir. So
the aftermath quickly spilled out of the courtroom, exploding into the public sphere as rumors of a controversial recording ignited rampant speculation, plunging Usher into the eye of the storm. Once regarded as a trusted ally whose journey ran parallel to Diddy's highs and lows, Usher's surprising link to the alleged material hinted at a story far more tangled than simple loyalty or casual ties, said to contain revelations potent enough to upend reputations and rewrite history. The recording drew relentless attention, leaving everyone questioning whose secrets were truly at stake and what chaos might follow. With tension rising, alliances wavered, old rivalries reignited, and the shadowy power plays Usher has navigated throughout his legendary career in music teetered on the brink of exposure.
Per NBC News, the music mogul entered the legal proceeding with gray hair and a gray beard, a notable difference from how he looked prior to his September 2024 arrest. Also on hand were members of Combs' family, including his mother Janice and two of his kids. As for why Combs was in court, during the arraignment, prosecutors unsealed a superseding indictment against the rap mogul, accusing him of forcing employees to work long hours and threatening them with retaliation. Combs pleaded not guilty to the allegations. The March 6th indictment obtained by NBC News did not add any new charges for Combs, who previously pleaded not guilty to federal charges related to racketeering, prostitution, and sex trafficking after his September arrest, but did detail what prosecutors described as, quote, forced labor at the hands of the rapper in connection with racketeering conspiracy. E! News has reached out to Combs' legal team and has not yet heard back. Prosecutors argued in the filing that Combs maintained control over employees whom he forced to work long hours with little sleep through use of, among other things, physical force, psychological harm, financial harm, and reputational harm and/or threats of the same. The document, which replaces the previously filed indictment to include more information regarding the case, said that Combs' alleged tactics caused these employees to believe they would be harmed, including losing their jobs if they did not comply.
According to a report by CNN, jurors on Thursday were expected to hear from a witness who claimed he was allegedly in possession of videos that contained footage of celebs being potentially victimized by the Bad Boy Records founder. The witness, who reportedly hasn't filed any suits against Combs and is not claiming to be a victim of him, says he has information and evidence about sexual abuse and other misconduct by Combs, some of which allegedly involve celebrities. But according to the witness's attorney, Ariel Mitchell, who also represented two of Combs' accusers in their lawsuit against the mogul, she said her client was subpoenaed. According to another report, the witness told TMZ he was initially contacted by federal agents with the Department of Homeland Security, and he's previously done interviews claiming he's seen salacious videos of Diddy and his celebrity friends. Sources told the outlet the subpoena from federal prosecutors asked the witness to turn over all records, including thumb drives, hard drives, electronic storage devices, or devices containing videos and/or other files depicting Diddy. But that witness would drop another bombshell, as he claims he was given 11 flash drives containing at least 8 sex tapes involving 8 celebrities.
As the trial progressed, the courtroom's atmosphere thickened with almost tangible intensity. Diddy's family, his children Christian and Chance, alongside his mother Janice, sat steadfastly among supporters, bracing for the high-stakes proceedings scheduled for May 2025. Every word and gesture seemed to gravitate toward one explosive center: the enigmatic recording. Whispers claimed it held not only deeply troubling conduct, but a revelation so shocking it could send shockwaves through the entire music industry. Then, in a surprising turn, Usher rose with calm resolve, confronting the moment directly. His commanding statement reverberated through the room, leaving the courtroom stunned and instantly redirecting the course of the unfolding drama.
The DeBarge family, those people who started super young, can even relate to what Michael was talking about. I understand when he says, I hate touring, 9 times out of 10, because his entire life has been touring and has been being that and being ready, right? Yes. For me, it's a bit different. But I felt that it was part of what I signed up for when I decided. How would you say it's different? Because it was your choice, you feel? Or? Well, it's different in terms of whether I love or hate it. I have never hated touring. I love touring. Like, that is the one thing that's the most important part to me. But the only reason why I hate it now is because I don't get time with my kids. So the sacrifice that I have to make to not be there for them, whether they know it, I would rather, be able to have real permissive parenting where I can wake up every morning and have breakfast with my kids, take them to school, check on them, after school, and be able to try and have some sense of normalcy. Said I would do when I didn't have kids. Moment I had kids, it's like, I don't really like being out there all the time. So I try to make the most of it when I do it.
Yeah, that right there is the pressure that I feel every day. To try to live up to that guy right there.
Oh my goodness.
It's a commitment that I made a long time ago. If you want to be an artist, being an artist is like being a magician. Being an artist is like being a heart surgeon. You make people feel things. So you have to have that same commitment to whatever it is that you say you're gonna do, right? I want to be great at this, so I have to stay in the gym a little bit longer. I gotta rehearse this record a little bit longer. I gotta sing all night. I gotta, say no to some things that might, be fun and hang out with your friends.
That
no, you gotta really.
A lot of discipline.
Yeah, so discipline, but more than anything, a healthy, lifestyle. I just choose to have healthy habits. I fast every Wednesday. I do my best to work out at least 3, 4, maybe 5 times a week.
Wow.
And, just be happy.
Usher, who once spoke openly about the intense pressures and overwhelming experiences of his teenage years spent in Diddy's household in 1994, now finds himself at the center of a storm fueled by emerging evidence. In a recently resurfaced interview, delivered with gravity rather than performance, he recounted how life behind closed doors starkly contrasted with the polished image the public had come to know. I saw things I wasn't ready to understand, Usher confessed. a statement that now resonates with renewed significance as his early experiences collide with a courtroom demanding accountability. What once felt like distant memory has surged into urgent relevance, thrusting long-buried truths into the spotlight with undeniable force.
They say the shirt that he wore to the VMA say something about God is great. But in the video, they got pictures of him standing in the background while a woman is being sexually pleased, but she under the influence. And they say it's white substance on her nose. You can clearly see that. And they saying in another video, they have him and the A-list, a young male, having sex. And it was an alleged allegations that it was being a tape was being shopped around with him and a young male. I'm not accusing nobody, but if you look at the way Justin Bieber look at Puffy, he hates that. He hates that nigga. That man's face ain't just dropped soon as he wanted to go get a wife. That man's whole fucking face, that's some medical. That man young and healthy, man. But he terrified. You remember when I said a lot of people happy you locked up right now, Puff? He's one of them. That's why I'm speaking. He's one of them. One of the people that you terrified who couldn't get from under your claw. That's why Puffy trying to help me get back out here. He know. These bitches want to see me fall. They want to see this. They've been waiting on this. He know how many people been waiting on this. His kids know. They feeling it. Nobody calling. Nobody trying to, you know what I'm saying? And with all the people that was trying to be my friends. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody calling, offering no help. Ain't nobody calling. I see all these niggas.
But what I can say, but I don't know. Because I don't know what the freak all look like, right? Right? Is it in a private house? Is it in a party or club? Because I've been to clubs where I walked in and people was doing coke. And it was on behalf of Bad Boy. Like, but Jadakiss, everybody was in that bitch that night. But the way the club is, I can't lie. I'd rather say I always tell people, the reason I remember this night so well because this is how I prefer to party. Like I went in there, was swinging from the all over the place. It's people getting on coke. It's people like everybody in their own fucking world, right? But they in their own world within the club. Music playing, rave music. I'm talking about crazy white people, punk rock, gothic. But nobody's paying attention. Niggas just gambling, just like in their own. It was a moment that I can remember. Like, yo, I'm seeing motherfuckers sniff coke. Ain't saying we get to smoke the weed over here. Like, security not fucking with us. It's a great. Like everybody naked bitches walk around. I'm seeing bitches fucking up here. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it's so mind your business. And it was like, yo, I'd rather party like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the one time I could probably say I walked into a crazy party. But we came through the back door and it was a big ass club. Like, it was like.
The tension surged even higher when former band leader Freddie P. Watson took the stand, unveiling testimony that exposed yet another layer of hidden complexity, one impossible to overlook. From his intimate vantage within Diddy's inner circle, he described a young, rapidly rising star navigating the chaos surrounding the disputed recordings, noting moments of quiet anxiety and subtle struggles concealed beneath the glare of fame. The most startling claim suggested that Usher may have chosen distance over intervention. Though unconfirmed, the allegation casts a long, haunting shadow, hinting at years of silent avoidance and unspoken truths lurking beneath the industry's polished surface.
And it's two freaky white bitches, man. They came up, they partying, and I'm like, okay. So this at the time, you still thinking Puff a little fruity. So you watching this nigga, you watching the movie, you want to see a nigga, like, break your stereotype. Like, I heard you was gay, man. Show me you're not. Please show me you're not, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm watching everything. And, yeah, he's finger fucking these bitches, like, putting a cherry in her mouth, and two white bitches up hitting my dog. Like, you see this shit? Yo, we were the boss of all bosses. Real boss. Hold on, my bad, brother. But I like, yeah, real boss. You know what I'm saying? That was Puff Daddy, man. It was better sweet days with Puff, man. And like I said, man, Puff ain't had no problem until he made that threat. He made that threat. He just didn't know. I guess he used to slapping niggas around and doing what he wanted to do. That shit just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't hate the nigga. I hate him for what he did to us financially. Like, my things with Puffy ain't got nothing to do with sexual. People don't understand that. I tell Sarah the same thing. Sarah, your beef with Puffy, keep it real. Like, it's not. You probably want money from that man because he owe us and it's too late to go get what they owe us.
There is a war that has erupted between Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. It involves swastikas, it involves their kids, and ultimately
Diddy.
it could, and Diddy.
Yes, Diddy.
And it could also involve a judge.
Yes, because Kim is really upset about this new song that Kanye dropped over the weekend. It's called Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine. It features Northwest rapping. It also features Diddy's son, King Combs. And you also hear Diddy himself on that, which is the main reason Kim wanted to stop this song from coming out. We've got a bunch of details about what went down, the battle behind the scenes, but first, here is a little bit of the song.
That meant so much, you know, saying that you reached out to the Monday wing while I'm in this. And I appreciate you for it up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, man.
Like, when you see me shining, then you see the light. Everything they know, it ain't even right. Okay, good night.
Okay, so here's the backdrop to this. So,
as Usher confronts a defining moment, these long-suppressed tensions threaten to erupt, placing a once unassailable legacy under unprecedented scrutiny. Interview. The stakes intensify as Diddy's past legal battles and lingering rumors resurface, layering atop the current allegations to create a pressure cooker he can no longer sidestep. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, remains unwavering, asserting Diddy's innocence and promising that the courtroom will ultimately reveal the truth. Yet with a high-profile trial looming and fresh revelations emerging, the conflict has morphed into a volatile clash of loyalty, influence, and hidden fractures, drawing Usher squarely into its center. Beneath the industry's glossy exterior, alliances once considered unbreakable are straining, and the power structures that shaped a generation now teeter on the brink. At the edge of this unfolding drama, Usher faces a critical moment where long-buried truths threaten to erupt, thrusting the music world's most closely guarded secrets into the harsh glare of public scrutiny.
And the defense are facing in seating a jury in such a high-profile case. I mean, everybody knows who this guy is.
Anytime you have a high-profile defendant like Sean Combs, the real concern here is jury bias, and that's a concern from both sides. In papers that were filed, the defense is already saying that they think there's been what they call an extraordinary amount of pretrial publicity that would prejudice people in favor of the government's case. So what we're expecting to hear a lot of talk about today is the jury selection process in this case. The defense wants to have two different groups of 300 people brought into the court, fill out extensive questionnaires, and then whittle people down based on that and bring the final selected people in for individual oral questioning. The government thinks that process is too cumbersome. They want this to be an oral process in court, or if they have a questionnaire, something just...
As the trial countdown ticks ever closer, the pressure mounts with each passing hour. Jury selection scheduled for May 5th and opening arguments set to erupt on May 12th. Every new revelation layers onto a decade-long saga of alleged manipulation, strategic maneuvering, and concealed alliances, pushing an already fragile story to the breaking point. Yet one moment commands the industry's undivided attention: Usher's decisive entrance into the courtroom. His presence did more than spark curiosity. It marked the beginning of a high-stakes confrontation where loyalty, rivalry, and long-buried secrets are poised to collide beneath the unrelenting glare of the public eye.